We're not gonna. You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll I make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide, how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you. Come on. Make way for the bad guy. There's a bad guy coming through. Better get out of his way.
Hey guys, and welcome back. Today is June 9th, 2018. Saturday. Right? Yeah, I know, right? I don't do Saturday episodes or anything like that, but we're doing everyday episodes now, from now on. And you're watching this at some point in the morning because, again, I recorded this on June 8th, and yeah, that's how it's going to be from now on. I'm recording this the day before, putting it out to you so you guys can watch it the next day, and so we can have a little, well, I need to have a little schedule because, you know, there's a lot of stuff. Again, pardon the noise. I got the doors open. I live right across the street. I mean, I live right in front of a busy main street, and I just thought it'd be a good little ambience, background noise to you guys, and hopefully it's not too much of a bother. I'll find out when I'm editing, and we'll go from there, you know, to see if I'm gonna do this or not. Right now it's like 96 degrees out here, but it's nice and windy. So again, I got the doors open, the wind is blowing in this direction, so it's nice and cool. I got, not cool, but you know, cool for 96 degrees. And I got the fan going right here, so I turn the other one off so that I can do this. And that's that. All right, so I have a humongous things I got to talk about today. First of all, let's talk about Bourdain. As a matter of fact, I did a whole video on Anthony Bourdain. I just had to, all right? And just watch it. It's the video before this one, okay? But yeah, I had to touch on that and talked about that. It was very important, and okay, whatever. If you want to watch it, just, you know, click on the link below. All right, I'll link it below. All right, so we have a lot of things to talk about. First of all, I need to thank whoever the fuck yesterday sent me, I don't know how much exactly, but it was like around 450 bucks worth of fucking ETH. I don't know who the fuck it was, but seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you a million times over from the bottom of my fucking heart. You have no idea. When I got that, I thought that fucking my fucking wallet was, you know, acting up or something like that, and you know, I had to immediately check, you know, you know, what is it like, the block chain, whatever the fuck, you know, to make sure that it was actually there, and it was, wow, thank you, wow, I'm still in shock about that, and by the way, thank all you guys, you know, everyone that's donated, you know, a couple bucks in Litecoin, someone out there was giving me some B cash, I don't know why, but thank you anyway. No, but seriously, I'll take anything. I'm not really, you know, I'm not, you know, beggars or choosers. Sorry, my back is kind of killing me. I think it's these chairs. I think I just, you know, anyway, so, right, sitting up straight, church. But anyway, seriously, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I've already received so many donations since I've been out here, and it's been crazy humbling, crazy awesome, and again, you know, I'm not gonna say stop them because, you know, hey, you know, the more you guys can send to me, the more I can travel, the more I can do this, and the more I can show you guys, and the more fun we can all have together. But wow, I really feel like really crazy amazing. Like, I mean, I feel, again, I can breathe again because, you know, just up to a couple days ago, I was, you know, down to just a few $100 and getting real close to wow, you know, not, just seem very close to like getting, nervous and getting close to, all that bullshit, you know what I mean? That comes with, the stress that comes with the normalcy of that. But, I've actually, again, with the donations, I've actually landed a couple, little jobs here and there. I've been saving a lot of money just fucking living out here, and everything is just, all coming together. Like my friend was telling me, thank you, all right? Because, she was very instrumental in like keeping it all together. Hey, listen, for real, I just gotta call it like it is. I'm only human. But seriously, thank all of you guys out there. Every single one of you guys. Everyone from like, you guys commenting, from the donations to the love, to the chats that we've had and everything and anything in between. And again, if there's anyone out there that needs or would love any kind of help, whether it's just want to chat or they want any kind of advice on moving and what it is to be an expat and all that stuff, please feel free to hit me up. You can hit me up on social media. The best way is through Instagram, and if not, Discord. Okay, hit me up on the Discord channel. Okay, that a good friend of ours set up for us, and that's where I talk to a lot of you guys already. Okay, so please just hit me up through there, and just this is like a chat room, so we can all chat about all kinds of things. So it'll be really, really cool. All right, enough about all that. All right, we're gonna obviously thank you guys later, so I'm gonna do it again, and just had to give you a huge shout out and thank you. By the way, when I film with this camera, it's very dangerous because I talk so much more and longer. So again, bear with me, deal with it. All right, guys. So I'm trying my best, but it really is a lot of stuff to talk about. First of all, since we're already talking about Bitcoin Cash, I got to bring this up. So yeah, I was making a couple transfers like earlier. Actually, I was making a few transfers in the last couple days, and so when I was sending some Bitcoin Cash yesterday, that shit was taking for fucking forever, okay? And I just thought, well, maybe it's an anomaly, maybe this, whatever. But anyway, I knew it was fucking B-Trash. I'm not a big fan of fucking B-Cash, so whatever, that happened. But then again today, I got like another, a few buck donation, and so I was like, well, fuck it, I gotta, transfer this. Let me see, let me try it again. Because I also had to make a Bitcoin, I had to send some Bitcoin, so I was telling myself, like, well, fuck it, let me do this at the same exact time and time them and see how it goes. Okay, so I literally did do them both at the same fucking time, and Bitcoin, again, it just keeps getting faster and faster and faster. So the Bitcoin transaction was, okay, like literally, that shit was already confirmed like 3 times, 4 times, you know what I mean? I'm already like on its way to like, close to like the 6, 8 times that we need, for the full confirmation, even though we just need 1. But by the way, and I sent it to 2 wallets, okay, between 3 wallets, okay, so the third wallet was the third destination, and literally got to the third wallet, like, 4, 5, 6 confirmations already, enough to where I can, I was already brushing it off, and still, in that time frame, Bitcoin Cash, the Bitcoin Cash, the one transaction that I made, still had not even, been processed or whatever, been, damn, what the fuck is the word? I just fucking had a brain for it. But anyway, you know what I mean, like, so yeah, so like confirmed, okay, there was still not even 1 confirmation to it. So I was like, what the fuck, are you fucking kidding me? And that happened yesterday, happened again today, so that's it. I mean, again, I don't know why the fuck people even use Bcash or even like Bcash, or why Bcash is anything good. Again, if it's the only people that are behind Bcash are just people that are shills, or people that are just trying to make a quick buck, or people are just trying to go off on the Bitcoin name. And I just think it sucks and it's horrible. But again, this is all part of capitalism. What are we gonna do? You can't do anything about it. But again, the good thing about capitalism is that people will eventually stop using it, because they would just know, and then they just know. But once they're sending a B-Trash payment and it's not fucking getting through and it's taking forever and this and that, people will get really frustrated really quickly, because again, if you're on your fucking phone and the fucking thing takes just a few seconds too long to fucking load, you're already fucking throwing the phone up against the fucking wall, all right, because you can't take it. So what makes you think that it's not going to be the same thing with this? You know what I mean? The first time that someone uses Bcash and it's just taking forever, and they're watching their friends, using Litecoin, Bitcoin, whatever the fuck, and that shit's already...
No, God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
All right. So, yeah. This is why capitalism and free markets are so important. All right. And even though we have a mazillion coins, it doesn't fucking matter. All right. The good ones will eventually just win out because, you know, it is what it is. It's the best product we'll always do. Look, they were talking about, like I saw a little short thing on Vice talking about public schools versus charter schools. And again, Vice is very, very, very biased, you know, with all their stories and all this bullshit. And, you know, they were just like talking all this shit about, you know, about charter schools and how, you know, public schools are the best and this, all that. And again, listen, no, you know what I mean? Like I used to be all about public schools and all that shit until I fucking woke the fuck up. And then it's like, no, public schools are just indoctrination camps, or, you know, training your children or the kids, you know, in order to become factory workers and that whole deal. We already know that. So, you know, again, charter schools, you know, they came about so that, you know, I don't know, it doesn't sound savory, but, you know, they were introducing, you know, the business model into the school system. And look, long story short, what it really was just doing is just that it introduced choice for the first time, and now it allowed parents to fucking decide whether they want to fucking put them in a public school or a private school. And that's it. And whether the private schools suck, well, fuck it, put them in another private school, and so on and so forth. But at least in the private school, the parents actually get to dictate, you know, what the child is learning, as opposed to in the public school, which they have no idea what the fuck they're learning, if they're learning anything at all. And that's just the reality of where we're at right now. And sure, not all charter schools are perfect, you know, just like not all public schools are pieces of shit. But the reality is that we know more than anything that, you know, the whole charter school thing is doing an amazing job and filling the gap, and in which, you know, the public school system has fucking failed miserably. And again, the only thing that has made the charter school thing grow has been the parents, okay, wanting to put their children there. And again, parents are people in our age group or younger, most likely. So yeah, okay, we already know what's up. So it's all good signs of everyone waking the fuck up. So, and again, now it's talking about Vice News. Again, you know, I was watching more Vice News because, you know, there was a lot of stories, you know, that were coming up that were very interesting. They're bringing up Bitcoin, and again, talking about Bitcoin, and they had this humongous opportunity to put a positive story out on Bitcoin. But what did they do? They delegated it to, you know, becoming a really bad story, a really negative story on Bitcoin. And, you know, just talking about like it's all, you know, for people that are laundering money, people that don't want to be shown on camera. Again, we're in this space. Why the fuck would you want to be shown on camera buying fucking Bitcoin at an ATM? Are you fucking kidding me? There's a reason we're doing that. And the fact that Vice doesn't understand it, they understand it. They fucking get it, okay? And what are they, you know, we already know what this whole situation is about because we're in this space. So when I saw that Vice story, I wasn't surprised at all as to how biased they were. And, you know, they were just interviewing people, and it's so funny because for the most part, you know, the people they were interviewing, you know, the Vice people were getting kind of what they wanted, but at the same time, you know, these people were being pretty honest, and, you know, they weren't talking shit, they were just being honest. And then when they were asked, like, oh, who are the people that come in here? And it's like, you know, most of the people that come in there are people that, again, from low income situations that are just trying to send money overseas, or people like in the porn industry or in the sex industry that, again, cannot even get a bank account for obvious reasons, and you know, and so on and so forth, you know. So yeah, and yet, you know what I mean, like how Vice has just twisted the story. I'm gonna see if I can, you know, find it again, and I'm gonna link it down here so you can watch that. They were also talking, you know, Vice was also talking about the One Belt, One Road China initiative, and you know, again, they were giving their fucking spin on it. And I mean, look, again, it was a negative spin on it, but if you know anything about, you know, what's really going on, you know, whatever, it kind of wasn't a negative spin. It was just a real story. But again, if we know what's going, we know our American history, we already know that America is very guilty to doing that. So what was the story about? It was about I think was it Croatia and Montenegro, that area of Montenegro, you know, the part of Europe. Long story short, they needed a humongous road built from point A to point B because that's the only country in Europe without a highway, and they needed it for economic whatever. They haven't been able to build it because they've been dirt poor, and all of a sudden you know, I'm making a real long story short. China comes in and says, hey, we'll help you finance this and build this. And, you know, Montenegro's like, all right, yes, you know, they signed on to do it. And then what the story of Vice story was about was that, yeah, sure, this could bring opportunity, but at what cost? Now you're indebted to China. Now all this negative talk about, you know, now Montenegro being debt slaves to China. And it's like, I mean, you know, that's calling the fucking kettle black for sure. Are you fucking kidding me? You know, that's what the fucking empire, the United States of America, had been doing for like the last 100 fucking years. And now, you know, China has been doing for like the last 15 years, you know, what the United States had been doing forever, and the United States has not been doing in a very long time. And then China now is what they're doing, which is, you know, they're going all over Africa, all over underdeveloped parts of the world, you know, whether it's, you know, places like in Eastern Europe or Central America, and they are building infrastructure, rebuilding infrastructure, in some cases, you know, creating deals, in some cases, you know, giving loans out, whatever. You know, not everything is savory, but regardless, they're doing what we used to do. So for, you know, Vice News to have the balls and the audacity to fucking be calling out China on this stuff is like, I mean, do we fucking forget what just happened not too long ago with like World War II, that we, you know, like supplied all the ammunition for the whole fucking planet to destroy itself, then we helped destroy the planet, except for, you know, this part of the world. And then as soon as everything was over, World War II was over, what did we do? We went out there and we rebuilt, you know, Germany, Europe, we rebuilt Japan, we rebuilt everything. And again, what the fuck you think China's fucking doing? The same exact thing. So, whatever. I don't want to get into it, but it was just, I just thought it was fucking funny. I thought it was just hilarious, and yeah. So, that was that. Okay, now what else are we going to talk about? Let's see. Venezuela. Venezuela was on the Empire Files. So again, I'm gonna link that shit to the bottom. There's a lot of links, okay? A lot of homework for you guys to do and watch. But you know, the Empire Files with Abby Martin. I love her. She's fucking amazing. She's the greatest. You know, one of the best fucking journalists out there we have right now. Even though she's really on the left, it doesn't matter. She's all about the fucking truth, and she's out there exposing, and she's a real fucking journalist. All right. So I commend her, and I love her, and she's fucking amazing. All right. But anyways. The Empire Files did a whole episode on Venezuela, and not just Venezuela, but it was also on last week. Is it last week tonight? You know, the one with John Oliver, and how he did a whole episode on Venezuela, super biased, super awful, and you know, the whole episode of the Empire Files was literally debunking everything that John Oliver said, and not just debunking everything he said, but you know, like literally, it was the most detailed, perfect, awesome example of, you know, what's going on in Venezuela, why Venezuela is awesome, why they love Chavez, why they love Maduro, why, you know, Venezuela is the thorn in the side of the United States of America, what's going on with everything there. And again, if you guys have no fucking idea or just have a little bit of an idea, just watch it, because I had a really good idea of everything that's going on over there. Remember, I was about to move out there. And after watching this, wow, I mean, I had even more of an idea. And, you know, the episode was full of clips of things that I had already watched from Telesur and all this other shit. But, you know, it was a really, really, really good piece put together by the Empire Files, and it wasn't Abby Martin that did it, it was somebody else, but still, it doesn't matter. It was a really amazing episode, and all it made me do was want to fucking move out to Venezuela even faster and even quicker. And look, it might not be for everybody, and especially if you don't speak any English. I don't know if it, you know, might be the right, you know, place for you to move or anything like that, but again, if you are like in a position like me and you speak Spanish and English, and you know, have a lot of know-how, man, Venezuela is a place to be. It really is the place to be. And that guy Maduro right now, man, that guy's kicking the United States in the fucking balls right now, and kicking that whole, you know, system, in the central banking system, in the fucking balls, all right, and getting them in the jugular. And holy shit, making it. Let's just say that if Cuba had the fucking oil and resources and had like the, you know, literally the country that Venezuela had, Castro probably would have done a lot of this, and Cuba, you know, would have done this many years ago, and Cuba would not be in the state it is in right now, just like a lot of Latin American countries, all right? But the fact that Venezuela has what it has, that's why it's been able to do what it does. It's been able to do what it's been doing, okay? And it's going harder. So let's transition to the next story, you know, which is again just talking about Venezuela and Maduro. Today he announced that you know, he literally announced that as of today, it's 10 months and counting before Venezuela is officially out of the Organization of American States. So I had to read it out loud because I know it as the Spanish, you know, in the Spanish terms. But what this is, look, let me give you a little brief history on this, okay? What this organization is like literally all the Americas are into like this trade block, okay? So literally everyone from Canada all the way through America, through Mexico, through Argentina, all the way down, they're all in one block. Now, everybody was included for the most part, except for Cuba. After Castro took over, the United States of America, you know, forced everybody to kick them out. Until, I think it was like 2009, 2009, when all the nations told the United States of America, hey, listen, we don't need you guys anymore. In fact, you, the United States, need us now. So we have new stipulations before we sign the treaty, you know, the fucking thing that we sign every year, the renewing of the thing. Starting in 2009, we want Cuba to be part of the coalition again, okay? And the United States, you know, which was Barack Obama at the time, you know, was like, hell no, fuck this shit. We don't want to whatever. If we allow Cuba back in, it has to be under all these sanctions and rules and this and that. And again, everyone collectively, and by the way, all this was held in Honduras. But anyway, everyone collectively was like, no, fuck you, Obama, fuck you, United States of America. We're allowing Cuba back in, and there ain't gonna be no special stipulations. They're coming back in just like everybody else, and that's it. You gotta treat them equally or not, and then you'll be the one that'll be out. And the United States of America did what? They signed. They went to, they went to Cuba and shook Raul's hand, and that was that faux photo op thing, that whole whatever. Where again, at the end of the day, Obama and the United States of America reluctantly signed, did peace with Cuba, and Raul was. Shaking the hand of Obama. But again, I'm gonna see if I can find it here. It was a very awkward moment, but again, awkward really for the United States, because Raul and Castro, and Raul Castro and what I'm talking about, like Raul and then the Cuban people, that was a major victory. That was a victory 50 years in the making, okay? Literally, okay? We defeated imperialism, all right? That's what that's signified, all right, more than anything. And the fact that all our Spanish-speaking brothers stood behind us in solidarity because of that spoke volumes, all right? So that is what that moment in time meant for us, the Cuban people, and not just the Cuban people, but the Latin American and Hispanic community. So, subsequently, right after that, after that happened, the United States of America forced Honduras out of the coalition, and they were just allowed back in like a few years later. I think it was in 2011 or some shit like that. But that happened, and again, why that happened? Maybe because they facilitated that whole deal with Cuba. Now, fast forward to today. Maduro said what I was just saying earlier, which is the president of Venezuela, that they in 10 months will be officially out of the, again, Organization of American States. And what does that mean? That they will, for the first time, be a sovereign entity, a sovereign state, and they will not be a part of any one of these things. So, what this Organization of American states is, it's just like, again, it's like imagine NAFTA, okay? But NAFTA is just Canada, the United States, and Mexico. So, but imagine this is like a NAFTA, but for all the nations, okay? For all Latin American countries, for all American countries, okay? So, by them excluding themselves out of it, now they have literally said, or saying, and by the way, this has already been 2 years in the making, okay? So again, this process it took 2 years it takes 2 years for it to complete, because they needed to still satisfy agreements and contracts and all this other stuff in order for them to get from point A to point B. But today he was just saying that they got 10 months left, and that's it. And as he was saying in his speech in Spanish, he was saying that, fuck America, fuck them for fucking trying to fuck us over. They tried to fucking bring us down, and they haven't, and they can't, and they won't, and we're winning, and we won, and that, for real, that was his speech. All right, very interesting, very awesome, very cool. And yeah, sure enough, they are going to win, and especially if they are able to, see this whole way through, which again, I don't see why they wouldn't, okay? And again, more oil crisis stuff, so that, when the oil prices start going up soon, that's what they're going to blame it on. So one of the reasons they're going to blame it on, there's a bunch of things, all right? And again, don't be surprised. It's like, oh, we got to go inside Venezuela, take over, whatever. So again, Trump's already talked about that. So yeah, you know, it's pretty fucked up, you know, but not fucked up. That's pretty fucking great news, to tell you the truth. And so by Venezuela doing that and excluding themselves, you know, hopefully, we don't know what the fuck is going to happen with that, but it will definitely put a lot of things in motion when it comes to what's going on there. Now, and so what's going on there in the sense that, like, you know, Venezuela, it will be joining countries like Cuba and other countries that are, you know, again, even though Cuba and other countries are still part of this coalition, you know, it is its own sovereign entity, sovereign state, and if, you know, things get a little too whatever, you know, they'll exclude themselves. I doubt that Cuba will. Cuba, just like a lot of smaller countries, need this American state coalition, but at the end of the day, Venezuela don't need shit. Venezuela, if anything, they need to, just like Brexit, okay? Imagine, you know what this is a Venezuelan, is a Latin American version of Brexit, okay? And so that's it, okay? And so by Venezuela doing this and actually following through on the whole fucking thing, it will put them in a position of, you know, total power, all right? They will be in power of their oil, their state, their country, their everything, okay? And yeah, it's going to be a major milestone for, you know, what's going to, you know, for all the things that are happening, but especially what's for them and just a lot of things going forward as, you know, our empire is falling, other countries are, you know, gaining their power back and so on and so forth. Now, just like a lot of countries are separating themselves from the empire, other countries are not. So for example, you know, let's just talk about Mexico real quick, but it seems like, you know, Mexico is going to have you know, the Mexican president is coming out, just like someone mentioned in the comments. I was watching Telesur today, and sure enough, it does seem that that guy's going to win, and that guy is, you know, very, very close knit to the United States and like that whole structure. So with that being said, if that guy does get elected, it's just going to make it worse for the Mexican people, you know, and yeah, that's just the way it is. I mean, because it's all about economics more than anything else. And if you align yourself with the stupid economic and political policies and other policies, you know, of the United States of America and the empire, I mean, you already know what's going to happen. You already know what's whatever. And yeah, and to like the last thing I'm going to fucking talk about is that another country which has fallen to the empire, and again, you know, this is a sign of things to come. Argentina today signed an agreement with the IMF, and they will be accepting $50 billion, okay, from the IMF in order to get themselves out of debt. Now, again, the people are on the streets, they're yelling, they're screaming, they're not happy about this because what is this? It's a bank bailout. And what does this signify? You already know what it signifies. It means that if they're bailing this bank out and they're starting to bail everybody else out, like, you know, whether it's Italy or Greece or whatever the fuck, well, guess what? Guess what? Everyone's going to get bailed out. So is our country when, you know, when the time comes, which again, it's only a few months away, but we already know what's going to happen. They are going to get bailed out. That's it. It's as simple as that. I mean, you know, you can't fucking sit here and deny that fact anymore. You can't fucking sit here and protect Trump and protect, you know, all the policies and everything he's done. Again, from what I just told you right now, he is doing exactly like everybody else would have done. Again, Hillary would have been a million times worse, but, you know, it's not like he's any better. You know, he's just a little better, but not really. You know, he's just, you know, kind of doing their bidding. And that's it. So yeah, guys, you know what I mean? Argentina, as if you guys don't know, well, you know, they are part of, sorry, I gotta fly scratch. But anyway, yeah, they are part of this whole thing, you know? So this is how it works. And I mean, it's Canada, the United States, Mexico, Argentina, Europe, Australia, you know, these are all the countries that are kind of like on that same, you know? And then the countries that are breaking apart from the shit are, you know, countries like, you know, Venezuela, some parts of Europe, you know, some countries in Europe, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and we can go on. There's a few others, all right? And that's it. I mean, we're living in some interesting times, you know, where I don't think it's, I mean, even though it's the falling of the empire and the ending of empire, if you guys know history, and you know I love to talk about history, it's gonna be a while. You know what I mean? Like, this empire is falling, but it's not gonna just fall like that. These things take a long time, and it could be another decade before this empire is completely disseminated. But I mean, the American empire, but it's happening. And as this empire is disseminating itself and falling apart and disintegrating, another empire is growing and building, and it's already in full fucking steam. It's in 5th gear, and they're cranking shit out. No problem. And what empire is that? China. All right, China's all over the place. All right, whether they're in Latin America, South Africa, or Africa as a whole, Asia, Europe, you name it, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. So, yeah, guys, we're living in some interesting times. Things are changing all over the fucking place, and yeah, man, Godspeed to us all. All right. All right, guys, this is a very, very long episode. All right, ending it here. I'm gonna be uploading this all night as usual, and that's it. All right, guys. You know, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys seriously so much for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing and you know, and sharing and commenting and donating and just being a part of this whole community, and really, like, the comments are what mean the most, okay? Honestly, more than anything, because it really gets a conversation going and helps me, you know, talk about, you know, what I'm going to talk about in the next episode, and because you know, I know I have a better sense of what you guys want to know, from, you know, what you guys want me to talk about and what you guys want to know, and that whole deal and that whole scenario. So, you know, just like someone was commenting today, you know, about, you know, yesterday's video, whatever, but commenting today about Sweden and how Sweden has fallen apart and everything that's happening over there. Again, just like a lot of our developed countries. So, you know, what's happening in Sweden is more like of a cultural meltdown as opposed to like an economic meltdown. But I think it's all together, but it's just fucked up, all right, everywhere. And like I was talking about, you know, I don't know if I talked about it already, but I'm talking about it now, you know, how even in this country now, you know, like just by me experiencing stuff in Mexico and going out and about and experiencing life out here already, it's like, you know, there's a lot of people in the United States. I would say like 75% of the US population right now. And it might be a little high, but
Before I sentence you, I'd like to say a few words about your arrest record. What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Man, you want some too? You better wrap it up. You better wrap that gavel up, B.
yeah, sorry, thing got cut off. But anyway, long story short, I gotta end this, and all I was just trying to say is that, you know, most of the American population right now, like, I want to say like 50% of is that 80% is a little too high, but 50% of the American population right now is already living in like third world country conditions. And again, this is pretty insane. The fact that, you know, if most people even knew what life was outside of the United States of America, they would quickly realize that. So anyways, all right, guys, seriously, thank you guys for everything. Please like, please subscribe, please share, and that's it. I'll see you guys mañana. Have an amazing weekend. Enjoy your weekend and have everything. And let me smoke this wacky tobacco. It's tobacco, okay? I promise, okay? There's nothing else but that. I don't want anyone coming out here suiciding me or anything like that. Remember, I keep kids off drugs and shit, okay?